Hi Aquarius, my sun sign brothers and sisters, welcome to your month ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. So my sun sign brothers and sisters, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you would like to be a part of the winter solstice alignment activation session, which is going to be relevant to you, sun, moon or rising, because Saturn is going to conjunct Pluto. It's going to be a big deal for all of us in some way, shape or form. I'll be talking about that, the numerology and the solstice itself. So lots and lots of interesting stuff. You can hit the link in the description box below. And also I have created, you guys asked, and I created a retrograde survival kit, right? It's a 45-page document where you can go on there and have a look at all the planetary retrogrades and see what you can do to help alleviate some of its effects. Right, I have put. It's been a labour of love. It's been an interesting one, but there's lots of interesting little bits in there that I think are really going to help. And obviously, because we've got a Mercury retrograde coming up this month, it's going to be even more relevant. And also, it is currently $19.99. It will go up to $39.99 once Mercury goes direct. Once Mercury goes retrograde, even. So, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path, or should I say us, on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So let's see what the month ahead has in store for us Aquarians. As many of you know, I am a sun sign Aquarius, very proud of that fact. All right, so our actions and interactions with the world at large. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is about growth, right? So even with the Mercury retrograde that's coming up this month we are seeking to grow. This month we are seeking to change, to align with things that are better and more better and more aligned with what it is that where it is that we actually want to be. This looks like it's going to be a month of study. It's going to be a month where you're seeking to grow your knowledge base. It's going to be a month where you're seeking to grow your finances. The thing about the Queen of Pentacles as an experience, she's always about getting more out of what you have. The fact that this is in our actions and interactions with the world at large means that this month we want to grow everything, right? So if you have, if you've got an idea, you're asking yourself, how do I make this real? This is looking at your finances. How do I make more money? How do I get more out of the money that I have got? How do I utilize the resources that I have at my disposal in a better fashion so that I can get the most out of them, right? When it comes to your actions and interactions with the world at large, it looks like you're looking at your physical self as well, your physical health. Even though this is your actions, there's something about this card for us this month that kind of says, and maybe it's because a part of my energy is already in that place. I need to look at my diet. I need to look at how, my sleeping patterns, my sleeping habits. How are my routines? Will they hold up against the light of day, right? Because the thing about the Queen of Pentacles, she represents the sign of Virgo. Virgo is all to do with your day-to-day life. It's how you do your routines. It's what energy you put behind them. And more to the point is, how are you utilizing that energy? So all of this stuff is coming under fire this month. It looks like we're going for a bit of a complete overhaul this month, which is, never a bad thing. So the money and materials this month. Oh, okay, we've got the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so money looks, the thing is, the Five of Cups it's about loss. It's about mourning, right? And it's feeling the keen loss of something. When you get this as your, I'm going to pull another card as well because I kind of want to see what else is coming up with this. But yeah, with the Five of Cups, so firstly, in terms of physical health, you could be feeling a lot of frustration this month. You could kind of be saying to yourself, you know what? I don't know how I allowed it to get this bad. For some of you, you could be getting a diagnosis that you were, you know that you were unaware of up until now. As an example, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, so I can't give you that kind of advice, but due to your diet or due to living a sedentary life or whatever, you could find out that you're diabetic, and that it's developed because of you could you could notice that you're being a lot more clumsy because you're not getting enough sleep. This is about you really looking at your physical health this month and really paying attention to it. There is frustration here in that Five of Cups because you're saying to yourself, shit, did I really allow it to get to this point? And unfortunately, yes, we do. Life happens. It requires you to show up all the time, right? And unfortunately, sometimes things take a back seat. It's just one of those things. When it comes to the finances per se, again, this is you looking at your financial health, and because it's coupled with the Queen of Pentacles, she's basically saying we can address this, right? We can rectify all of this. There is no irreparable damage done here. However, if you continue down the path that you're on at this moment in time, yes, you will end up doing some damage that is irreparable. So at this moment in time, I'm going to pull another card for this as well. Think of it like this. Yes, things have got to a point where they are pretty bad, but once you acknowledge that, it will start to improve from there on in. Okay, and then we've got the Page of Wands to clarify on it. So interestingly enough, the Page of Wands it's about what you're inspired by, right? So it might be that this month, it might not necessarily even be anything particularly big happens. For some of you, it won't be like that. For some of you, it will just be a case of, wow, I'm just not where I'd like to be and what I can do about that. You could have a realization, you could be having a conversation, you could be somewhere, you could have a moment that just kind of snaps you back into yourself and you say, wow, I have come really far off the path of where I thought I was heading or where I wanted to go or where I wanted to be. All right, so our communications with the world at large. We've got the Four of Wands, right? So whatever happens, we're communicating well, right? We actually have good news coming to us this month. You could be hearing good news about a young person, so a niece, a nephew, a child of yours, or the child of a friend. There's good news, good, things, reasons to celebrate this month. And it looks like in your communications, you might be hearing something that you have done right. So it's kind of like the finances thing and the health thing. You could be looking at this stuff and saying, wow, you know what, this is awful, right? And that kind of gives you a bit of a doom and gloom. But then your actions, you're addressing your daily routines. This is where you really start to put foot to bum and make things happen. This is where you start saying, right, okay, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself to this path. I'm going to dedicate to a better path. Through that and that determination, you've got this communications, which is beautiful because you've got the Four of Wands, right? This is good news, unexpected good news as well. And for a lot of you, I really feel like this relates to your home. It relates to your living situation. It could also be, for a select few of you, an idea that you've had suddenly gets a backer, suddenly gets an investor, suddenly gets the green light. It could be all of those things coming through, which is absolutely beautiful. And then, the Heart and Half sector, we've got the Star card. Beautiful, right? So for those of you that are single, this is lovely because it really does look like you're meeting somebody fantastic this month. For those of you that are partnered, if you are with somebody and you've been with them for a long time, this is engagement time. This is where you get offered, if you like a thing, you should have put it in. Right? This is that time where, somebody comes forward and says, look, you know what, I want to make this official. I want to make it bigger. I want to make it more, which is absolutely fantastic. And then finally, for those of you that are... are already married, right, this Star card basically gives you it's almost like an energetic hit, right? This is about you looking out into the future together and saying, right, you know what, let's go for it. So some sort of long-standing dream, wish or hope that you've both shared together suddenly becomes possible. It suddenly looks possible. It suddenly looks like it has what it needs in order to take place or to happen. That's really, really exciting. All right, so your first week of the month. You've got the Moon card underneath the Queen of Pentacles. So if you look at this like it's a mountain, you will be making a mountain out of a molehill, right? The reason the Queen of Pentacles is there, she's saying, look, all of this is just about routine. As long as you can get a routine in place, I promise you, you can reach all of the goals that you're hoping for. It's not going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem if you make it one. The Moon card tends to see us distort things, right? It has that energy of it kind of sets you and looks at stuff and you're like, oh, okay, I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with this. If you look at it and make it bigger than it is, it's like when you look at a stick on the floor. I can't remember who gave this this analogy. I think it was Adam Ellenbus, and I love him. I think he's brilliant. You know, if you look at a stick at night on the floor, you're like, oh my gosh, is it a snake? Like, is there something going to be attacked by something? You shine a light on it and you realize it's just a stick. It's just a stick, right? The Moon card tends to bring that kind of confusing energy. If you look at your routines and just start, oh, I suck, this sucks, everything's crap, that's the energy that you're going to create. It's really important that you stay above that, right? Don't go into that sort of lower fear-based energy this month. Your second week of the month and your finances. You got the Star card. So we've got the Star card twice, double hit of Star card energy, which is beautiful because the Star card is us. This is our energy, right? This is the energy of being able to glimpse the future. It's the energy of being able to be pure, to look at something and come exactly as you are, to not embellish, but just to leave it as it is. It's about hope, optimism, joy, and whatever comes in the future. And the beautiful thing about the Star card, it's number 17, right? So after the Tower, you know, which looks like we're having that moment in our finances and our health this month where we're looking at things saying, oh gosh, you know, this is worse than I thought. It's not actually that bad. If you give over to hysteria and start sort of making a mountain out of a molehill, that's exactly what you get. Whereas if you do what the Star card asks you to do, you understand that you are a cosmic connected being. And if you can tap into that universal flow, I feel like a lot of us are going to be able to make that work this month. I feel like this month, if you can do the hard bit, which is step outside of how you feel and step into the flow, step out of how you feel, step into the flow, right? Once you do that, that's when you're going to see how much of a master manifester you truly are and how much of a master manifester you could actually be, right? You want to see how big and how wide you can take it. You've got to step out of it and step into it. Your third week of the month, you've got the World card, completions, endings, but in the best light, right? This is where you master something. This is where you step into that moment where you can say, wow, you know what? That was a hard slog, but it paid off. There is something coming this month, whether it's in your communications, whether it's in something that somebody's shared with you, something that you've created, a project that you've worked on. This month, you are literally seeing before your very eyes, you've got great news coming in. So for some of you, this could be, like I said earlier, it could be you're hearing about a child's results for something or really positive, you know, and it could have been a bit of a challenge to get there, but it got there in the end. For you, something that you've created, something that you've worked on, something that you've put a bloody hard effort into. This month, you see the reward from it, right? This is where, and interestingly enough, Saturn has just gone direct. So by the time we get to October, because I'm filming these mid-month September, by the time we get to October, Saturn will be fully in his, you know, I'm not sure if he'll have passed shadow yet, but he'll definitely be in that sort of energy of really moving forward. So this is where you'll get some of the reward, right? This is where you'll get to see a glimpse of what he's actually been lining up to bring you all this time. So finally, your fourth week of the month, we've got the Emperor, right underneath the Star card. This is, for those of you that are single, this is about you getting serious about what it is that you want from commitment. It's also a lot of you saying, you know what, I'm actually okay on my own, but somebody that is coming in, you know what, I'd like them to have these kind of attributes. For those of you that are partnered, it does look like a relationship is going to the next level. It's just becoming more committed, more deeper, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Not only that, like I said, it's about your future. It's about you deciding. So double hit of the 4 energy there, which is nice. And then finally, your key to the month. Is the Knight of Cups. So there is an offer. There is an offer on the table. There's an opportunity, right? So really, my advice to you would be make the decision on what it is that you want to work with, or what it is that you want to improve, or what it is that you want to elevate. Because once you make that decision, you will be able to start moving towards it. This is when it's really going to happen for you, right? This Knight of Cups basically says, ask and it shall be given, right? Because the Knight of Cups is an offer. It's an opportunity that comes to you. And really, if you can tap into what it is that you actually want, the universe can bring you the offer of it, right? This is about opening up, becoming a manifester, right? Don't become a responder to events in your life. Become a manifester of the events, but rather become a manifester of the life that you want. All right, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.